Well, welcome back to News Hour on the SLBC. Human rights has many thematic issues to be addressed since there are lots of organizations working towards addressing them, and AdvocAid, a non-governmental organization, is one of such programs. AdvocAid supports justice, education and reintegration for female detainees and their children in Sierra Leone. Founded in 2006, the organization's aim is to strengthen access to justice, including an increased ability to claim rights for women, and to empower them as active citizens through the provision of education, welfare, and post-prison support. Simitie is a legal officer for AdvocAid. She's also here in the studios with me. Good morning, Simitie, and welcome to News Hour.
Good morning.
Can you start by giving us maybe how have you been able to support women who are in conflict with the law?
Well, first, as you've already said to viewers, that it was founded in 2006, and the idea behind the organization was that there are lots of vulnerable women in the criminal justice system who did not have any assistance, legal assistance. So the organization went into prisons, primarily Pademba Road, and was giving them legal representation. We would hire lawyers to actually represent them in court. And through this assistance, representation, the numbers in Pademba Road have drastically reduced. Is reduced probably about 50%. The majority now of the prisoners there are people who've been convicted. And so through our intervention, the people on remand have gradually reduced. So that was the primary aim of AdvocAid. But we've also extended it to actually trying to catch them before they get into the criminal justice system, by going to the police stations, by when they're charged to court, we actually try and get them bail so they don't even have to end up in the prison. And when they are released, we try and give them some financial assistance. We also give them some training on how to reintegrate back into society. If they want to do computer skills, if they want to do other trades that will give them some finances coming in, we assist them with that.
How do you go about doing this?
The representation, I'm the legal officer there, so for now I do most of the High Court and some Court of Appeal cases. We also have another colleague. He does the monitoring of the prison, of the lock-up cells. He does the bail applications and helps in the magistrate court. We also have a paralegal who does with the mediation, because a lot of the cases we have to do with this issue called fraudulent conversion. Is a debt case. You borrow money to buy some market to sell, and your business flops, and you can't repay the person you borrowed the money from. So what they do is they take you to the police station and they report you.
They're mostly women?
Of course, it's mostly women, business women. So we've been trying to target to assist these people to mediate. So instead of taking it to the court system, we say, come up with a plan, a payment plan to pay to this person, because you're more likely to get your money if the person is out, and if they're in prison, because they're in prison, where they're going to get money to pay you back. So our paralegal does a lot of that mediation. And even with cases for wounding, assault, we also try and mediate where possible, because usually the victims, all they want is assistance with their medical costs. They don't want the whole
Simitie, apart from the legal mediation, do you also, offer financial support?
Yes, we do. That's why I said for those who are released, we try and give them, it's a needs-based assessment, because we're a small organization and unfortunately we don't get that much funding, so we can't really give a lot. But we try and give amounts, so maybe 100,000, 200,000, depending on what it is, to start them off. Because obviously, like say someone who's been in prison for 4 years, when they come back, life has changed from what they left. So we could maybe give them 300,000 leones or something to start them off.
Okay. Simitie, your organization facilitates the instruction of weekly literacy classes in several prisons across Sierra Leone. How is this possible?
Yes, we partner with an organization called AdvocAid. So they are the ones that actually send teachers to teach them, do them literacy classes. Then we also do the legal education. I would go in with a paralegal. We also have a volunteer from the Human Rights Clinic in Frabe College, and we actually do classes on bail, how to do cross-examination and things like that. So they're empowered, because usually the problem is these people are poor, so they don't have a lawyer to represent them in courts. So they sometimes plead guilty in situations where they should not be pleading guilty. So by at least empowering them, hopefully they will be able to assist themselves in court if a lawyer is not present, and so not be convicted at the end of the case.
Now, your organization also carries out certain research projects on specific aspects of the judicial system in Sierra Leone that are impacting women's rights. Do you want to share that with us also?
Well, previously, AdvocAid has done a report on the justice system about how the whole criminal procedure and how it affects women. And that has been produced and it's been disseminated. I think that was produced in 2008, I believe. We're also doing one on this issue of fraudulent conversion to see how it impacts the use of criminalizing debt, how that impacts on the system. And so we are doing a report on that, and hopefully that should be launched early next year. So, I mean, the outcome of that report is really to say that there are other ways in which you can resolve these debt disputes instead of clogging up the court system by maybe going to your market women's association to help if you're a market woman, or getting friends or family members to actually assist you in mediating with the person you have to pay. And we also advise that you be honest. If you are not able to pay the debt, find a way of being able to pay the person back, if even a little or not, instead of running away. Because a lot of times what happens is the person runs away or keeps silent. So yes, the person who is owed the money gets upset and frustrated, and that's why they go to the police. And so we are saying, try and resolve. Stop hiding behind the issue. If you haven't got the money, come out plain and say, this is what has happened.
That is what I actually meant.
Yes.
That apart from mediating,
yes,
do you also support them financially by paying their debt, maybe?
We wouldn't know. A policy would not pay the debt.
Okay.
Would, if they are fined, and it's a little fine, and their children involved, we'll pay. I mean, we've paid fines for pregnant women.
Okay. Because
there's no point the unborn child suffering because of the mother, so we would pay. But, I mean, to pay that debt itself, we would not necessarily pay that debt. But we can link them up with other organizations, say lawyers or other, or link them up with TNAP Justice for see how they can assist them. But to pay the debt itself, no.
Simitie, people might say you are encouraging women to commit crimes because they know that you will help them get out afterwards.
That's impossible. Why on earth would someone go and commit a crime that they say an organization or AdvocAid, because you don't even know how long the organization can last. And we are helping vulnerable people. Let's be honest, the criminal justice system, really the ones who get incarcerated are the poor ones. If you are rich, you would not get there. I mean, you'd hire a lawyer, and I mean, you would not even get there because the person would be afraid to even take you to court. So really those who are in prison are the ones who are poor. And so that's why we're assisting them.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Simitie. She is Simitie Lavali, Legal Officer for AdvocAid in Sierra Leone. This is News Hour on the SLBC. We'll now take a short break.